Welcome to the second episode of this season of the B2B E-Commerce Integrated Talks, formerly known as the B2B E-Commerce Tech Talks. So we changed the name a bit. So for those who do not know me, my name is Arno and I am the Chief Product Officer here at Sana Commerce. And the format of this, talk or live event is pretty straightforward. Every month we are coming together on the first Thursday on LinkedIn Live, and we are discussing one or two topics which are hot topics in the B2B e-commerce scene or related to B2B e-commerce. So don't worry if you cannot make a session. We are recording everything, and if you want to listen it back, you can find these recordings on YouTube, on Spotify, or on Apple Music. So all the channels that are there. So Emilie, welcome again.
Thanks, Arno. Happy to be here. My name is Emilie Dubau. I'm the Director of Customer Success for Sana. And for the past 6 years now, I've been really focusing on making our customers successful. And today I'll be your moderator, so I'll be the one interviewing Arno about today's topics. I would also like to invite you to post your questions in the chat on LinkedIn. I'll make sure they are answered either during this session, or if we cannot, maybe personally later, or maybe we use it as an inspiration for a following event. So, ready for today? We have a very hot topic. Today, we're going to talk about the hottest new thing, ChatGPT. And probably same for you. My LinkedIn has been exploding with posts from people about how this tool is revolutionizing the way they work, the way they create content. Microsoft invested in it. Now it's available as part of their search engine. And I think for the first time we see huge players like Google being challenged by this new disruptor. So today we're gonna focus on ChatGPT, but more specifically on the power of all these tools, the ones offered by OpenAI, but other AI tools too, and how we can use them in the context of B2B e-commerce. So Arno, I know you've been playing with it because we had some fun together last week. Tell me about it. What's your opinion about these fun new AI tools?
Yeah, no, I love the technology, of course, and these kind of disruptions or new things in the world are awesome. So I just reminded more or less a personal story, let's say, back from 2020 or 2002 when it's 20 years ago when I was at university. We had let's say lectures on not on AI, but we called that neural networks back in the days. And we were challenged to, let's say, recognize a letter based on training a neural network. So all the nerdy stuff, but I liked it back in the day. So you write down an A on a piece of paper, you make a picture, you scan it, and see if the computer could recognize it. It was the first forms or how we learned to work on AI. And now, if you would have in that classroom asked the question, hey, can you generate a text, or can you generate an image based on this and this? I think everybody would run away and say, you guys are crazy. And they also would say, in 10 years it's possible, or in 15 years or 20 years it's possible. And now it is. So how fun is that? And it goes really rapidly now. But let's kick off the session, and let me share my screen, and let's just ask ChatGPT. The question for today is how can AI help with B2B commerce? So I just recorded it from this morning when I asked it. So if you have not seen ChatGPT, this is how it looks like. You can pay for it, or you can, I think, use a free one. I paid for it in that sense, so because then you can just add some credits, and then you do not have to wait, because otherwise it's a waiting list often. Yeah. So it's answering the question, and let's digest this a little bit, and that's also a little bit my opinion. So we asked the question, okay, how can AI, generate, or what is the, how can AI help B2B e-commerce? So what it will say is a lot of about the customer experience, so that you can use this as a chatbot and can help with customer questions, improve sales, all that stuff. It can help with fraud detection, price optimization, so supplying better deals. It was typing along supply chain optimization, and so on and so on, which is great. And it's also exactly how this is working, because it's based on the information which is on the internet. And a lot of companies in the B2B e-commerce space like to talk about these topics, right? But when truly listening to our customers, at least, I think these are nice challenges and we also want to help there. But I think one of the bigger challenges we currently have with our B2B e-commerce customers is that they still are at the very beginning, so to get online or to get better online. And so my personal opinion, I would answer this differently. I would not put this on the first top 5, let's say, suggestions. I would say, how can we use the tools that are there to bring you quicker online or improve your data and help more the e-commerce manager, and in the end you will help the B2B buyer as well. But yeah, these are really focused on the front end or on the front shop, let's say. So on the B2B buyer focused things, which is always the cool stuff, of course, and everybody likes to talk about. But from my opinion, it's if you know the customers, then it's better on another area. And that is also my opinion. I think it's great. This is an awesome technology, and I'm using it every day now, since a couple of months for various tasks. And we will touch upon it also a little bit later today, right? How you can use it in your day-to-day life. But the other thing, it's based on what is available on the internet, and also for ChatGPT or the OpenAI. I believe it's still based on data which is a little bit older. There are other vendors which we're also exploring, like ChatSonic or WriteSonic, which are having different data sources which are more accurate. We are testing the differences and so on. But still, it's what is available open. It cannot look in our customer base, right? So you need to add that data in some way to, I think, have better things. So we will share it more, but my opinion is it's a great tool, especially for personal use. It will change our lives. Use it as a co-pilot, not as the main pilot, I would say, for now at the beginning. And definitely, I just gave it another spin on looking at the how we can help customers. But we will show something today later on. That's already a small secret, so that what we are working on, and we'll give some slides or some demo on how we are using it to help our customers.
Yeah, I like what you say about using it as a co-pilot. I mean, personally, that's also how I use it. I write a lot on LinkedIn, on social media, and I really use it as an assistant to sometimes, fix a bit this writer's block. You don't know where to start, and it gives you inspiration, but it's not a ghostwriter. It's not going to write your content for you. You need your human touch, your knowledge to be added there. Mm-hmm. And so, we that was a bit of an introduction. Let's talk about specifically what are practical tips for B2B companies on how they can use these tools to automate processes that are time-consuming, for example, related to product descriptions or images.
Yeah, so let's say, after playing around with the tool, and we also saw it, how it is answering, my opinion is the biggest opportunity is in on the short term is automating the work the e-commerce manager has, bringing the physical world to the digital world. Why? Because I think AI can assist you there, be your co-pilot, filling in the gaps, and speed up. And so we had I had a LinkedIn post earlier this year asking you, okay, what kind of things you should work on. And you can think of, let's say, indeed, generate a product description based on attributes. And in B2B, because that's often the case, many products have limited descriptions, or that's what we see at customers. They have a PIM system or an ERP, or sometimes even still an Excel with only the product title and a barcode number or a number or something, item number. You can also do the other way around, generate a search engine optimized title for your product based on the description. So then you are going a step further. So you have already some data, but you want to make it good for e-commerce and especially for search engine optimization. That's now also possible. Product images to generate or to recognize things, so that you can say, hey, is this product red or white or black or maybe multiple colors? Is it a bike or is it, what category is it? It can help there. And generate maybe even design elements. So a couple of things we will highlight a little bit more. Some things we are working on in the product and we will add them soon, which we also will show today. Some but most of this you can already work if you're a little bit handy, right? If you're, registering for such a tool, like the different APIs on OpenAI, or tools like WriteSonic or ChatSonic. Then you can already explore it today, and also, for example, with Excel, you can generate these things and then load them into Sana or in any other e-commerce platform. So that is also already some tip that we can give to our listeners today, right? You don't have to wait till everything is being built by the vendors. Most of these things you can already start with using it today. We ask also, of course, the LinkedIn people, and I think the most votes were using it to generate meta descriptions and SEO optimized keywords. So we are also working on that. Actually, we are working on most of these things that I just mentioned, and some of them I will show today.
Okay. By the way, I want to use this minute just to mention that if you are watching us on LinkedIn and if you have ideas, we would love to hear about them, because of course this is new for everyone. So we'd love to get inspired by you. So if you have ideas, please don't hesitate to post them in the chat. We can also take the time to discuss them, actually. You've made already quite a list of things that can help B2B web store managers. But I'm curious, are we developing anything like this?
Yes, of course. So let's switch to the screen and show something. So this is a picture of our demo environment, but it's representing what we see a lot at B2B companies when they're starting. So this company, imaginary company, is selling bicycles, and maybe in a wholesale distribution model, so that bike shops can purchase them. And what do they have? They most of the time have an image and just a text, or let's say title, an item number, and a couple of attributes. So these were, let's say, handy, and they were already in the ERP. Maybe it was connected to production lines or so. That information is there. But this company wants to go online, and you cannot show this to to your end user. You need to have some description sometimes, or you want to make sure that if you are searching, that these things are being indexed and recognized. So you want to do something, and it's maybe not a problem if you have 10 products, and it's easy to do. But if you have 20,000 or 40,000, it's maybe more complex. So one thing we are prototyping at the moment, is now in the proof of concept phase, and will be released, I think, within a couple of weeks to our early adopter customers and so on. Is something here. It's a little bit smaller, but on the left top corner it's called the OpenAI product description add-on generator. It works pretty simple. So with the visual designer, you can drag it on the place where you want to have that description being generated. You replace the description which we normally load from a PIM system or from a ERP. So you replace it with the OpenAI one or the add-on. And then you can configure it. For example, what do you want? So you want to instruct it, give a 400 character product description for the product with the following attributes. So that's what we are giving to OpenAI. And then you select the attributes that you want. And you can do this on per product, of course, that you want to vary, but you can also do it for all products. Otherwise you are configuring this on a lot of different places. So here we are now generating a description with title, brand, size, color, and collection. And and I think the results are pretty. Of course, you give your ChatGPT configuration, so you log in. You need to have an account, paid account in the end. But in the end, this is what it generates a description. And let's zoom in a little bit more. Because it's interesting, right? It's taking the brand, as it makes a whole nice text, but it's taking the brand, it's taking which colors it is there, it's taking from which collection it is, it's taking which components it's being built of, and how many speeds it has. So it's taking all those attributes and just put it in a nice way. And this is now based on the ChatGPT API, but you have also other APIs from OpenAI that we are comparing, so you can use both. So we will see what's good, as well as with WriteSonic, which is another vendor. Just to see we are prototyping and see what gives the best results, so that we can give it to our customers. So yeah, once again, team is working really hard to get this to production in a couple of weeks, and this will be our first thing, and I think hopefully we'll bring customers online sooner, because yeah, this is one of the major problems, to have your product descriptions and so on ready.
Yeah, so if you like this, by the way, for those of you who are watching live, if you like this, we would love to see your love. So if you can give us a thumbs up below the image, you can see some icons. So we'd love to see if that was really interesting for you. And well, I wanted to go to the next question, but I also saw that you prepared another video that I found quite fun, which is about product images. So can you show us what we can do with product images?
Yeah, so that is more about, let's say, how can companies use already the existing tools, let's say, so from supplies from OpenAI to do something. So I took the opportunity just to have one of our customers. I didn't even ask them, but they are on our website as a reference. So I thought it was okay, and it is a public website. So, but Atkins, I think they're from Ireland, and they are a supplier of machinery, like farm machinery, like these tractors. So I just took one of these images that they have. And what if, for example, you do not have the money or budget to have a designer, and you want to make a banner, right? Or something, some nice looking content or so. So then you could use another tool, which I personally like more, from OpenAI, which is called DALL-E. So I'm taking this image, and this is DALL-E. So I'm uploading the image, which I downloaded. So that's from that tractor. Mm-hmm. And my goal is actually that, I do not have the money for a designer, but I want to generate a banner. Taking the picture, here it's loading in. And then you say, okay, what do I want to, a banner looks bigger than this, right? So you want to make the picture larger, but you do not have that. So otherwise you need to ask a designer. So I'm asking DALL-E to add a background to the image. So it starts generating and so on. And because my goal is that I maybe want to place this square banner with some text like spring sales coming up, or this is a new machine.
For those of people who are just listening to us and not seeing it, we started with a picture of just a tractor and a bit of grass around it. Yeah. And now can you describe what we see?
Yeah, so it generated a whole virtual world, I would say, with the land and other tractors there as well. But maybe we want to make the picture a little bit more clear. So we are just wiping out the other tractors. So I'm doing that here now, and let's generate it again. And guess what? What will happen? Of course, it will make it work. So let's generate it a little bit. It takes some time. I think they can work still a little bit on speeding it up. But these are also we are working with these tools to see how we can embed that in our product. So now I have a nice banner. I can save this. I can put a text on it, and I can use it on my website. And this was just a small thing I wanted to show, that this is a tool that you can already use today. That you can, from for example, product image, create a banner. And maybe even bigger, like a hero banner of the whole width of the site. That's all possible. We did all other funny stuff. Let's say if you want to add a farmer, for example, you can add a farmer if you so, and this is generating based on an image that you have. Of course, you can also just say, hey, generate an image of a tractor, but I think that is also nice. But if you can directly use it on your website, it's most of the time a little bit it requires, I think, some skills to give the right instructions. I advise the B2B users to use some let's say existing images they have, right? But yeah, you can start this today, right? And also for any tool, any PowerPoint and so on.
I see in the chat on LinkedIn, Rob gives a very good advice, which is you can also feed titles that you like from similar products to your product. Yeah. And ask it to make a title like that for your product.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, correct.
Thanks for the tip.
Awesome.
And maybe that's a bit what we described here, but I want to put the emphasis on that. We know, because we hear it from customers, and we talked about it in a previous episode, we know our customers are looking for automation tools, because they want to work smarter, but also because they want to better use their people. And I think one thing that is good to mention is that all these tools, it is available to lower budgets, and it's actually helping lower budgets, right?
Yeah, I think this will cost you a couple of cents to generate, and in a few clicks to generate an image. Yeah, if you, of course, maybe quality still has something to improve on, but I think for some customers this is already helping a lot. Yeah, then you can with a low budget you can generate these images. You do not have to go to designer. And so on and so on. So yeah, I think this is a great thing to start, and will only be better in the future.
Yeah. Okay, so we've seen a lot of fun stuff. It was a lot about the content.
Mm-hmm.
So creating product descriptions, enhancing your images. We talked about product title. That was a tip that was given. Are there more ways to use OpenAI tools or other AI tools to optimize B2B web stores?
I obviously had, so the other form, of course, the chat, it's in the name, right? Especially on chat is something we also want to want to embed at some point in time. We did actually already prototype in the past a little bit on more a tool which was supplying from Microsoft, not from OpenAI, but just from Microsoft itself to embed chat. But I think still the ChatGPT is, let's say, on another level, right? It feels much more intelligent. However, I think you need to be able to feed it with your information, right? Otherwise, yeah, you can ask then, say, okay, what product do you want to recommend? But yeah, you need to feed it with your product catalog, and that is still something we are exploring, how easily we can do that, because it is sometimes quite a bit piece of data, of course these tools now, it's very easy if you send a 10-page document and say, okay, write one extra page, it's doable. But if you're uploading 100,000 products information, it's another ball game. So I think we are now looking into these kind of challenges, but that will evolve over the years. I think that will not be there in a year or so, or maybe in a year. That's still, I think, the time we will need. But all these things like generating in a smaller context, that will be added to the product pretty soon.
Nice. And as I mentioned before, for those of you watching live, if you have ideas or tips or questions, please share them in the chat with us. Maybe another thing that I asked you when we prepared this talk was, we talked about how to use it, but do you have tips also on how not to use AI tools and what to be careful with when you use these AI tools?
No, yeah, definitely. So yeah, personally, if I'm using it for my day-to-day things, so yeah, directly posting something that is being generated still feels a little bit odd. Although it gives, let's say, really good answers or really good input, still at least I can more or less recognize that you say, this could be generated, right? So I think it is that's why I say co-pilot or advisor or inspirator, let's say, also people that have a writing block and that say, okay, where to start with if you need to write a piece on personalization or on B2B e-commerce, and then, or about some product, right? If you're in a B2B context, let's say, okay, write something for this technical piece of equipment. That's a nice starting point. But then from there, add your own sauce on top of it, right? Your own spices, spin it in the right direction, and add your own values to it and check it. So I think that is important, and that is what I believe also how the future will evolve, because there are already a lot of people on the internet also complaining, let's say, oh yeah, all our jobs will be gone, and yeah, I think that will take a while. Yes, our jobs will change. An e-commerce manager, let's say, in 5 to 10 years will be probably doing a lot of different tasks than they are doing now. I think for the good sake, but if they will lose their job, I doubt, because I think adding that thing which is still hard to mimic, let's say, a certain feeling, or even in doing support, that will take a while. Yeah. So yeah, use it as your co-pilot and not as your main pilot, or let's say that would be my still my advice.
Thanks, Arno. Anything else you'd like to share with us today? Any other things you're working on related to these tools?
Now, what I said, so and the description will be there soon. And we are exploring how we can work with these kind of images generating. I think once again that's also a big thing that especially smaller companies are struggling with. They don't have the budget for design, so anything we can help there. Maybe even generate design elements and so on. And then we will shift, I think, to the front end of so adding a chat. Of course, we have already other stuff. We are not using tools from OpenAI or other vendors from, but we have, of course, recommenders and stuff. They are also based on models or on AI technology. But we are mostly developing and generating by ourselves, or we are using the tools in the public clouds from Microsoft, for example, that are supporting us in generating these product features. So there are already quite some places, if you now count, let's say, inside Sana, where we are using AI. There's something, right? We have the recommender, but also on Sana Commerce Insights, where you can ask already some kind of a question based on the data, it will give you the answer here. For example, what was the biggest order of 2022? Then it will give you that answer. Or what was the biggest customer? So that is already there. Many more things will come for sure.
Nice. Exciting times, I would say, right?
Yeah. It's everything where we can automate or make the world a little bit smarter and easier. That's always good, right?
Agree. Thank you, Arno.
Yeah.
And thank you for everyone who joined us live today or who will be listening to us later. The next B2B e-commerce integrated talk will be hosted on the 6th of April. I can't believe it's the spring soon already. So 6th of April, we hope to see you there, and we hope you enjoyed the session today. Thank you, Arno.
Yeah, thank you very much. Bye-bye.